Picture a lazy Saturday at Larson Ranch, 50 acres of rolling alfalfa, and grazing horses, where the only drama's a stubborn goat or a busted fence. I'm Abby Larson, 34. Single mom running this spread with grit and coffee. My 6-year-old Liam was scribbling chalk dinosaurs by the barn, his blonde curls glowing in the sun. Serenity Meadows, a glitzy subdivision, sprouted a mile off last year. Their McMansions, all glass and egoed. Their fake HOA cops rolled up, grabbed Liam's wrist, and tried to drag him off for vandalism. They didn't count on my dad, Ron Sanderson, Army vet, stepping out with a glare that'd stop a tank. Those goons were about to learn you don't mess with a kid on a rancher's turf. It was noon. The ranch humming. Chickens clucking my mare. Daisy whinnying the air thick with hay and dust. Liam in a blue tee and sneakers crouched by the barn, drawing a green T-Rex on the gravel drive. Humming off-key, I leaned on the porch rail, smiling at his smudged cheeks, thinking life don't get sweeter. Then a black SUV, no plates, tinted windows, dark as sin, crept up our private road. It didn't belong, no neighbor's rig, no delivery. It stopped dead at the barn, engine idling like a threat. 2 men climbed out wearing dark blue uniforms, crisp but fishy, no badges. Just Serenity Meadows, HOA patches. The taller one, Victor Slade, 40s, bald, square-jawed, 6'2", of pale muscle, clutched a clipboard, gray eyes, scanning like a hawk. His partner, Milo Trent, 30s, lean, jittery 5'8", fair skin, brown eyes, darting, twitched, like he'd chugged Red Bull. Their boots crunched gravel, postures, screaming. Fake cop. Sidewalk defacement. Victor barked, pointing at Liam's chalk. Community violation. I blinked, stepping off the porch. Excuse me. This is my ranch, private property. That's my kid's chalk. Victor didn't flinch, voice cold. HOA policy bans. Unsanctioned markings on shared areas. Shared my deeds from 1945. Predates their gated fantasy. Before I could snap back, Milo bent fast, grabbing Liam's wrist. We're taking him to HOA security, he said. Yanking toward the SUV, Liam yelped, confused, his chalk clattering. My heart slammed my ribs. Get off my son, I shouted, lunging to shove Milo's arm. Victor stepped in, growling. Ma'am, we're authorized. Authorized. No cop moves like this, too. Sloppy, too bold. Liam's cry pierced the air, and I saw red. But the barn door creaked behind me. Dad's voice cut through, low, deadly calm. I suggest you let my grandson go. Now, Ron Sanderson. 62. Wiry, weathered tan skin from decades in war zones, didn't yell. He didn't need to. In a faded army tee and jeans, gray hair, cropped blue eyes, locked on Milo. He stepped forward, coffee mug in hand. Presence, like a loaded rifle. 3 tours. Paratrooper special forces, he'd faced worse than these clowns in jungles and deserts. Milo froze, grip loosening. Victor puffed his chest, but his eyes flickered. Sir, we're HOA enforcement, Victor said, voice cracking. You're interfering. Dad took another step, inches from Milo, unblinking. You're impersonating authority. I know Serenity's board. Nobody snatches kids. Show me badges, IDs, paperwork. Silence. Milo's hand twitched on Liam's wrist. Victor's clipboard shook. We're authorized, Milo blurted, but it sounded desperate. I scooped Liam, his arms, clinging, tears, smearing chalk on my shirt. This ranch ain't yours, I spat, clutching my phone. I'm calling the sheriff. Dad's eyes never left Milo's voice. Ice. You're 2 minutes from a viral felony. Let him go. Milo's jittery gaze darted to Victor, who nodded slightly. Milo released Liam, stepping back, but his twitchy fingers hovered like he might try again. I dialed 911, heart pounding. Liam trembling. Dad pulled his phone, recording the lens steady smile voice. He said, "You're on candid camera." Victor's jaw clenched. Milo's twitch worsened. The SUV's engine revved, but they didn't bolt, not yet. Serenity thought they could bully a rancher's kid, but they'd kicked a hornet's nest, and Dad's military instincts were just warming up. My gate camera was rolling. My deed was ironclad, and Larson Ranch was no HOA playground. These fake cops were about to learn what happens when you cross a family with 50 acres and a paratrooper's wrath. Y'all Serenity's HOA goons tried to snatch my kid, but Dad's ready to bury him where you watching. Let's make this fight blaze. Serenity Meadows' fake HOA cops thought grabbing my 6-year-old Liam for chalking a T-Rex on our ranch drive would scare Larson Ranch into submission. But they didn't know Abby Brickwood don't back down, and my dad, Ron Sanderson, Army vet, has a stare that'd freeze a coyote. Victor Slade and Milo Trent, with their badgeless uniforms and a black SUV, tried dragging Liam off, claiming HOA violations. My 1945 deed and gate camera said otherwise, and Ron's calm threat stopped them cold. Serenity's McMansions glinted a mile off all gloss and gall. I stood by the barn, Liam clinging, alfalfa swaying. The sheriff was coming, and these goons were about to choke on their own lies. It was high noon. Larson Ranch alive. Daisy the mare whinnying, chickens scratching my heart, still racing from Milo's grip on Liam's wrist. Liam, blonde curls damp, clutched my jeans, blue eyes wide, chalk smudges on his tee. I hugged him tight, phone in hand, 911 on speaker. On. Ron, 62. Wiry, weathered, tan skin stood by the SUV, faded army tee, dusty gray hair, cropped blue eyes, locked on Victor, his dropped coffee mug in the dirt. He held his phone, recording voice, steady. Keep talking, boys. Felonies trending. Victor, 40s, bald, square-jawed, pale, sweated in his dark blue uniform, gray eyes darting, clipboard, shaking air. Enforcement, he barked, but his smug grin cracked. Milo, 30s. Lean, jittery, fair-skinned, twitched in his uniform, brown eyes flickering to the road, hands flexing like he might bolt. We're authorized, Milo yelped, but it sounded like a kid caught stealing. Authorized, my ranch ain't in there. HOA, 1945 deed county map, clear as day. I snapped. You grabbed my kid on private property. Show me badges. Victor's jaw tightened. Milo's twitch worsened. Ron stepped closer. Voice, ice. No. Badges, no. HOA. Boardbacks, kid snatching, you're done. The SUV's tinted windows hid nothing now. Their scam was bare. Liam whimpered. Mom, why'd they take me? I kissed his curls, whispering. They're liars, baby. We got this. Sirens wailed, 2 sheriff's cars, roaring up the ranch road, dust swirling. Deputy Carla, Ruiz, 30s, stocky, olive-skinned, angular face, stern, jumped out. Badge, gleaming brown eyes, scanning. Who's Larson? She called, hand near her holster. I raised a hand. Liam, clinging. They tried to take my son. Said, they're HOA security. Carla's partner, Deputy Tom Wells. 50s, lanky, fair-skinned, blue eyes, sharp-eyed. The SUV badges, IDs now. Carla ordered. Victor sputtered. We're Serenity Meadows. HOA, he defaced property. Milo waved a fake citation. We're authorized. Carla's frown deepened, snatching the paper. This ain't legal. Serenity's HOA. Don't patrol ranches. She eyed their uniforms. No badges, just patches. Tom chuckled. Costume shop specials. Impersonations a felony. Victor's pale face reddened. Milo's twitch hit overdrive. We got orders. Victor insisted Carla shut him down. Orders to grab a kid. You're lucky this dad didn't break you. Ron, unfazed, handed Carla his phone. Got it recorded. Attempted kidnapping, trespassing. Carla watched the clip. Milo's yank on Liam clear. Cuff 'em, she told Tom, who moved fast. Victor's clipboard hit the gravel. Milo's hands shook as cuffs clicked. You can't. Milo whined, but Tom smirked. Tell it to the judge. Liam buried his face in my shirt, trembling. I called Mara Larson, my county clerk's sister, at dusk. Abby Serenity's been scamming non-members, she said, voice tight. Fake fines, intimidation. Your ranch ain't on their map. Get that video to a lawyer. Mara emailed my 1945 deed and a 2023 Serenity plat. My 50 acres free and clear. I checked the gate. Cam yesterday, Victor and Milo Victor saying, this ranch should be perfect for Phase 2. Phase 2. My land, I saved it gut-churning. The deputies hauled Victor and Milo off their SUV, impounded. Ron stood by the barn, eyes on the horizon. Daisy grazing. They'll try again, he said, voice low. Serenity wasn't just after Liam. They wanted our ranch. My camera was rolling, lawyer on speed dial. And these fake cops were about to learn a rancher's family fights, harder than a cornered bull. I stood by the corral. Liam sketching nearby alfalfa, swaying with ex-posts and a lawyer. I was about to make these goons wish they'd never rolled up our road. It was dusk. Larson Ranch glowing, AZ the mare. Snorting chickens roosting the barn's gray wood, catching the last light. Liam, in a clean blue tee, sat on a hay bale, drawing a new dinosaur. His chalk smudges gone, but his blue eyes wary. I ruffled his curls, heart still raw from Milo's grip. Ron leaned on the fence, faded army tee, dusty, weathered tan skin, lit by the sunset blue eyes, scanning the road. They're not done, Abby, he said, voice low. Scammers like that got a bigger play. I checked my gate. Cam new clip, Victor and Milo 2 nights back. Victor muttering, this ranch should be prime for Phase 2 lots. Phase 2, my land. I saved it gut-twisting. Their SUV impounded, held no HOA papers, per Carla's call. I phoned Mara Larson, my county clerk's sister, Abby. Serenity's been shaking down non-members, she said, voice sharp. Fake fines, threats, they hit 5 ranches. Get that video on ex-lawyer up. Mara emailed a 2022 Serenity map, my ranch, clear of their line. But their enforcement zone faked an overlap. By nightfall, I fired up X, posting the gate clip. Serenity Meadows fake cops tried to kidnap my kid, claim my ranch for lots, after HOA scam. I shared the 1945 deed, Liam's chalk T-Rex and Carla's card captioned, they grabbed my son, help stop this. In hours. 8,000 views. 2,000 reposts. Market folks were livid. Ron scrolling. X grunted. Homeowners are pissed. Say these cops tanked their elite vibe. A local blog ran it. Rancher mom exposes HOA fraud. Serenity's sales froze per a realtor pal. Next morning, Victor and Milo were back released on bail, now harassing Ms. Rosa, our neighbor, with a peach orchard outside Serenity's line. I spotted them by her gate. Victor in his dark blue uniform, pale skin, flushed gray eyes, glaring, waving a fine Milo, fair-skinned, in his uniform, brown eyes, twitching, scribbled on a pad. Unkempt trees, Victor barked at Rosa, 60s gray braid, swaying olive skin, glowing brown eyes, fierce in a flannel dress. Pay a $1,000 or we seize your land, Rosa snapped. My orchard's older than your HOA. I rallied Ron at the barn, his army tee, sweat-stained blue eyes sharp. They threatened my nephew's job, he said, nodding at Rosa's kin hauling our hay. I posted again, Victor and Milo's fine letter, the fake 2022 map, and Rosa's orchard, tagging the county Serenity's stealing ranches. Stop HOA. Views hit 15,000. Serenity homeowners vowing to skip dues. My cam caught Milo's truck circling our gate, his brown eyes glinting in the dark. Mara called at noon. Abby Serenity's boards sweating, she said. Your ex-posts crashed their market lots. Unsellable. Counties probing their map fraud. She sent Serenity's bylaws no jurisdiction over non-members. My ranch free as a hawk. Carla texted Victor and Milo's credentials are fake charges pending. I called my lawyer. Nora Blake, a property rights bulldog. Abby, get Rosa's statement. More cam clips, she said, Voice Steel, we'll sue for extortion. At twilight, Rosa joined us by the corral, her flannel dress, dusty brown eyes blazing. They find my trees to force a sale, she said. I posted her story, X hitting 20,000 views, locals and homeowners rallying. Protect Larson Ranch, Serenity's board was cracking, but Victor and Milo's truck prowled again, their uniforms a shadow. Ron stood by the barn phone, ready, blue eyes like lasers. They'll hit harder, he warned. I hugged Liam, his dinosaur sketch glowing under barn lights. Serenity thought they'd scare a rancher mom, but my ex-posts were a wildfire, and their next move was gonna burn like a dry field. The sun dipped low over Larson Ranch, casting shadows across the alfalfa fields as I stood by the barn, Liam sketching a pterodactyl on a slate. My ex-posts had hit 25,000 views, torching Serenity Meadows' fake cop scam, and their homeowners were bailing on dues. Victor and Milo's attempt to snatch Liam had landed them in cuffs, but they were back harassing neighbors like Ms. Rosa. My gate camera and 1945 deed proved our 50 acres were untouchable, and the sheriff's report backed us. Serenity's McMansions glinted a mile off their gloss, peeling. With a lawyer and Ron's army instincts, I was ready to make their HOA board squeal louder than my chickens. At dawn, Ron leaned on the corral fence, his faded army tee, dusty, weathered tan skin glowing, blue eyes scanning X on his phone. Abby Serenity's board's panicking, he said, showing a homeowner thread, vowing to fire the board. My latest post, Victor muttering about Phase 2 lots on our land, had 5,000 reposts, locals and market folks raging. Serenity's property values dropped 8%, per my realtor friend. Their unsold lots, collecting dust. I checked the mailbox, finding a new fine, $1. Faster to $500 for unapproved livestock noise. Livestock, my mare. Daisy's whinnies predated their gated dreams. I called Mara Larson, my county clerk. Sister Abby. Their board's desperate, she said, voice crisp. Their 2023 maps fraudulent claims. Your ranch as an easement. Posted on X, we're suing Mara. Emailed the map, my 50 acres clear, with Serenity's fake easement scrawled like a bad lie. I posted it tagging the county Serenity's stealing ranches. Fraud. By noon, 30,000 views, comments screaming, shut 'em down. That afternoon, a white Tesla rolled up, not Victor's truck. Lydia Marsh stepped out. Wiry, fair-skinned, short gray hair. Limp. Green eyes, flickering nervously. Navy blazer, crisp against our dusty gate. Ms. Larson, she said, voice thin. I'm Serenity's new secretary. The board wants to meet. Resolve this quietly. I crossed my arms. Jeans, dusty brown eyes, sharp. Resolve. After your goons grabbed my kid and find my horse. Lydia glanced at Liam sketching nearby, his blue eyes, calm, blonde curls, catching the breeze. Victor and Milo overstepped, she said, fidgeting. We'll drop fines if you limit livestock noise and remove that chalk. Remove Liam's T-Rex. I'd sooner burn their bylaws. Ron, blue eyes like steel, stepped forward. Army T-Tot. Quietly, you're dodging felony charges. I grabbed my deed map and cam clips, sensing a trap. Mara texted Lydia's. A board puppet watch her. We headed to Serenity's community center, a gaudy hall with fake chandeliers and marble floors reeking of overpriced cologne. 50 homeowners packed it, some in polos, others in flannel, like my market crew waving at me. Victor and Milo slouched at a front table. Victor's pale skin, sallow gray eyes, dodging mine. Dark blue uniform, wrinkled Milo. Fair-skinned, brown eyes, twitching, scribbled nervously, uniform stained. Lydia took the podium blazer, stiff green eyes, avoiding me. We're addressing enforcement concerns, she said, voice shaky. Ms. Larson. We'll void fines if you comply with noise and aesthetic rules. I stood, boots loud, on the glossy floor. Comply, my ranch ain't in your HOA 1945 deed. 2023 map. Your bylaws prove it. I held up the fraudulent map. It's easement a scam. You tried to kidnap my son, plotted to steal my land for lots. I played the cam clip. Victor's voice booming. Prime for phase 2. The room exploded. Homeowners shouting, "You're scamming outsiders." "My lot's tanking," a polo-clad dad yelled. "We're done funding this." A mom in yoga pants snapped, "Fire the board." Victor's face flushed, gray eyes panicked. "That's fake," he roared, but Milo's pad fell, his brown eyes wide. Lydia stammered, "We'll investigate." But 20 homeowners stormed out, vowing to ditch dues. Ron, filming on X, hit 35,000 views, his blue eyes glinting. Ms. Rosa, olive-skinned brown eyes. Fierce gray braid, swaying in a flannel dress, stood. "They find my orchard outside their line." Abby's right. Lydia's blazer sagged, green eyes darting. I leaned toward her, voice low. "Your map frauds with the DA. My lawyer's ready to bury you." She gulped, gray hair drooping. "We'll rethink patrols," she mumbled. Victor and Milo bolted truck tires, squealing. Mara texted, "Board's meeting tomorrow." "Push harder," Ron whispered, their next moves desperate. I stood by the gate at dusk, Liam's pterodactyl glowing, Daisy, grazing Serenity's board, was cracking. But their counterattack was coming, and I was loaded for bear. "Y'all." Serenity's HOA's flopping like a fish in a dry creek, and we're just warming up. Smash that like button if you've fought HOA crooks, and let's make this blaze viral. The sun blazed over Larson Ranch alfalfa fields, swaying as I stood by the corral, Liam sketching a triceratops on a plank. My ex-posts had scorched Serenity Meadows' fake cop scam, hitting 40,000 views with homeowners ditching dues, and Victor and Milo's land grab plot. Exposed, Lydia Marsh's truce flopped at their gaudy community center, my 1945 deed and gate camera, proving our 50 acres were ours. Serenity's McMansions a mile off dimmed as their market tanked. With Mara's county pull, Ron's army grit, and a lawyer, I was ready to bury their HOA deeper than a prairie dog's burrow. At dawn, Ron leaned on the barn, faded army tee, dusty, weathered tan skin, lit blue eyes scrolling X. "Abby Serenity's board caved," he said, showing a post they offered cash. An apology. No more fake cops. My clip of Victor plotting phase 2 lots had sparked a boycott, local news blaring, rancher mom crushes, HOA fraud. Serenity's lots were unsellable. Per my realtor pal, their shine gone, like a cheap polish. I called Mara Larson, my county clerk's sister, over coffee. "Abby." "They're toast," she said, voice sharp. "Your cam clips, Rose's statement, and the fake 2023 map are ironclad counties probing their extortion. They'll settle $15,000 for damages, legal fees, covered public apology, and a filed admission. Your ranch owes nothing." Mara emailed their offer, signed by Lydia Marsh, now interim president. Ron texted Victor, and Milo skipped town. Lydia's in damage control. The settlement was set at Larson Ranch, not their tacky center. 70 folks, market regulars, Serenity, homeowners and neighbors like Ms. Rosa gathered by the barn, Daisy grazing her whinny, blending with clucking chickens. Liam, blue eyes bright, blonde curls bouncing, showed his triceratops to Rosa, olive-skinned brown eyes. Warm gray braid, swaying in a flannel dress. The air smelled of hay and triumph. Lydia arrived in her Tesla. Fair-skinned green eyes, downcast, navy blazer, wrinkled. "Ms. Larson," she said. Voice shaky. "Serenity Meadows apologizes for the enforcement errors. Your fines were invalid. You're not in our HOA." She handed me a county-filed letter, voiding all fines. A $15,000 check and a weak nod. Our patrol units disbanded. I crossed my arms. Jeans, dusty brown eyes, fierce. "Errors. You tried to kidnap my son. Find My Mayor faked a map to steal my land. I held up the 2023 map. Its easement a fraud. You scared. Rosa threatened my crew, called my ranch a nuisance. Homeowners cheered, some snapping pics. Ron live-streamed on X 50,000 views. Blue eyes glinting. Rosa stepped up. Flannel dress, swaying brown eyes, blazing. They find my orchard outside their line. Abby saved us. A Serenity mom 30s in yoga pants shouted, "We're done with HOAs, crooks." Lydia's green eyes widened, blazer sagging. Mara, 40s, fair-skinned hazel eyes, sharp, strode forward in a Blazer County badge gleaming Serenity's map frauds with the DA, Victor and Milo face, kidnapping charges. The crowd roared, market folks clapping, Serenity residents hugging my hands. Liam giggled, petting Daisy. Lydia mumbled, "We'll rewrite bylaws," and shuffled to her Tesla, tires crunching gravel. Word spread Victor and Milo were nabbed at a gas station Fake Patches Pond. Weeks later, Serenity's new board sent a sign, "Larson Ranch Free Forever Neighbor," to Serenity. We rebuilt the gravel drive. Liam's T-Rex painted permanent, a badge of grit at a market barbecue. Rosa brought peach pie. Serenity folks mingled with ranch hands. Kids chasing chickens. Mara grinned, hazel eyes twinkling. County redrew Serenity's map. "Your ranch is sacred." My gate cam caught a Sunset Fields golden. No HOA. Trucks in sight. Serenity's holdouts still whine about standards, but Larson Ranch stands tall, carrots, sweeter than ever, at market. I walk the drive at dusk. Liam sketching Ron's army tee, swaying Victor's scam dust in the wind. This fight was about family, my kid, my dad, our roots. Larson Ranch stood because we fought smart, deed, camera X, and heart. Serenity learned, you don't grab a rancher's kid without facing a stampede. Never let bullies shake your home, whether it's a ranch or a city block. Family, evidence, and community can topple any scam. Protect your roots, stand tall, and fight loud. Y'all. Serenity's HOA's gone. Our ranch is free. Smash that like button. If you've crushed HOA scams, drop your town in the comments. Where you watching? Subscribe to the channel for more battles against Karens and crooks. Hit that bell. Join the ranch rebellion.